I want to welcome you to Pastor Blast. Today is Tuesday, August 17th. Here I am in the boiler room, deep in the depths of the PLC education wing, a place that most members will not venture to go. We'll get back to the boiler room. First, we all realize that summer's coming to a close. Our family was at our cabin up in the San Juans for just a couple days, and it really dawns on us that school is coming. Elizabeth is a 6th grade teacher. She's looking at books, getting ready. Our son Mark's going to be a senior in high school, and our daughter Caroline's shipping out for college. Summer's a great season. It's a lot of rest and reflection, and even the church has this slower pace. But I think we're gaining speed, and we're looking ahead to the fall with different planning. I want to acknowledge first that it feels like the pandemic is never ending, and we all share feelings of frustration and uncertainty and anxiety. My thanks to the leadership team that stayed vigilant and responsive, and so I'm still encouraged about where we're going. And, as we try to move forward, where is God leading us? I find great solace in the fact that God is steadfast. Psalm 90 is one of my favorite psalms, and the first verse is, "Lord, you've been our refuge from one generation to another. Before the mountains were brought forth, or the land and the earth were born, from age to age, you are God." Throughout this pandemic, God has proven to be steadfast and faithful to our congregation. That brings me back to the boiler room. I want to shout out to a couple of key volunteers here. Gail Otto and Jerry Alexander are really the ones that keep our older facility with repairs and averting big trouble, as well as getting necessary work done before new construction can begin. They work hard on behalf of the whole church. And I kind of think of them as like Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, who have to keep the old Enterprise on Star Trek going. Another leader I want to shout out to is Daryl Dietz. He chairs our building committee as well as our outreach team. And there's hard to come up with a metaphor for Daryl. I'm just going to say Moses, because he's leading us through the bureaucratic wilderness of trying to get building permitted so construction can begin. And trust me, it feels like it's been at least 40 years. But Daryl has been the steady hand leading gifted groups of volunteers that doing the laborious and the logistic work that must be done for our congregation to move forward. When it comes to the fall, I want to highlight just a couple things. I hope you will join me in being, looking forward to, thinking about where God is taking us. One is we're in the process of hiring a new choir director and a music coordinator. We've got 2 good candidates, and the congregation is meeting them. One last Sunday on the 15th and one in a couple weeks on the 29th. But an opportunity to relaunch our music program here following the pandemic. Arletta Preschool, you've heard me talk about, has 20 plus families registered. The director, Cheryl, and I have a good working relationships, and she's okay, with us serving coffee as the families show up to welcome them. I'll be doing weekly chapel when things get rolling. Our goal as a church is to build relationships with these families and to minister to them. It's a mission field right here. During the pandemic, you may not have noticed, but we've picked up 15 or 20 new folks that have been worshiping with us, and my hope in September is to give them an orientation so that we can officially welcome them into our fellowship. The Senior Center, Gig Harbor Senior Center, that we also host, is on September 9th, is holding a regalia of sorts. The mayor is coming, yes, and because we've got all these VIPs coming, there'll be wine served on that occasion. But again, another opportunity for us to minister to people right here on our own campus. The outreach team is working hard right now to try to diagnose how are we as a church doing in terms of our website and our worship and our welcome and so forth. So for that, we've enlisted secret shoppers. Those are people outside our church that we bring in, and they're going to be surveying our online presence as well as coming in person in September. So our hope is to gain from them some insights about what we do. And also, there's a big congregational survey we're looking at. We want to hear what you have to say about how we're doing and where we're going and what we need to, what's a growth area and what's a strength area. So Now, no doubt 2021 has been very daunting and difficult for all of us. I know I've had my doubts, my struggles, and my own meltdowns, and I tend to share a lot of that in my prayers. But God finds a way. God finds a way to revive, refresh, and renew the church. So, going forward, I want us to hear Proverbs 3 and 4, a familiar verse for many of you, but a good one as we look to the future. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and God will make your path straight. Amen.